I also see a creativity on the part of the organizers also. You keep coming up with new programs and new ways of engaging the youth by recognizing what it is that they like and what it is that will motivate them. Like these games and other things are developed keeping in mind the aptitude of children. And I know that Raja is the most active member of that, and then all of you are also there. I'm happy that many of you are contributing to this whole effort. And then you found Purna Vidya as a very relevant and perhaps also an adequate source of sharing that knowledge with the children. And I'm sure that teachers also grow in the process of sharing it with children and the students. And thus it is beneficial to all. But you cannot continue unless you yourself grow. So as it is, this basic idea is good. And the fact that it has completed 25 years, it means that it is being conducted in a meaningful and beneficial way, that the community must find some meaning and benefit in its activities. Because then only parents will be motivated to bring their children. And I hear that you also identified activities where the parents also would be able to participate. And I wish, of course, that the parents also had the desire to learn as their children are learning. I wish continued success and prosperity of this whole program. Thank you.
Manandaji of Arshavat Vidya Gurukul has summed up YCG's mission in the wonderful video message you just saw a few minutes ago. YCG has had a profound impact on my family. It was on YCG's first bus trip to the Gurukul that we met Swamiji and were introduced to the Gurukul, and thus began our spiritual journey. The video messages and memories of YCG that our alumni have shared really make my heart fill with pride. Thank you, Ranu, for cheering YCG on and veering me towards teaching. A shout out also to some of our alumni present here today. Bashu Ratnam, would you stand up? Ankur Talwar, where are you, Akbar? Can you stand up? Right there. Anisha Kunel.
So I panicked and I went to Rati and told her, Rati being Rati, oh, just go tell Rajiv to take off his mustache. I said no, I just got introduced to him 2 hours before. I'm not going to go. She said, oh, I'm too busy. Yes, you have to go tell him. So here I'm getting nervous and I braced myself, went to Rajiv and told him, Rajiv, you have to take your mustache off. I think initially he was shocked, Rajiv. And after a few minutes, he was such a good sport, he said, okay, I'll do what I have to do for this occasion. So we rushed to Ramni to the store to get all the necessary things to remove his mustache. And the program went on beautifully, and you'll see some of the greatest pictures today when they have the presentation from that. You both, Rajiv and Vanita, thank you for being such a great sport. And that was my strange introduction to YCG. And that was 19 years ago, and as they say, rest is history. I'm still here. And so thank you. Thanks for all your support. And now I think we are
Late 1993, Rati and Rudy struck a chord in an instant connection when they discovered that they were both trying to find ways to keep their culture and heritage alive and relevant for their children. For both Rati and Rudy, the idea that it takes a village to raise a child was central to their vision. Yicg took off. A big highlight in this Anupcharika Yuga was summer camps. We had a Hindi immersion summer camp in 1994. We had a 2-week summer camp called Shruti that Lakshmi Swaminathan, our first Bharatanatyam teacher, conducted in 1996. And it was held in Rati's house before they even moved in. This led to our new Yuga.
The Sangatic Yuga, or the organized Yuga from 1999 to 2003. We now had a Sangatik, an organization. Jyoti took the reins of registration, and our famous binder. Rati and Rooney conducted a full-fledged Vedic program for grades K to 12. Sorry, I have to back up. Raji and Rati created a full-fledged Vedic program for grades K to 12. These are the kindergartners, and here are our high schoolers. With an introduction to gods and goddesses through Indian values, all the way to Bhagavad Gita. Shatar. Here are the Hindi students learning about the leaders of India. And here are the Bhasha Day, the Hindi students again. And also, Gita Vichara for our high school students was a platform for them to discuss the Bhagavad Gita. And Rama Puja. Hanuman is little Brigade. And here is our own in-house Rama and Sita. And Vanita with all the students. In 1999, our first 3 Hindi students graduated from our Hindi program, much to the pride of our Hindi faculty. We had the Hindi Sammelan in 2002, which was a precursor to our current day Bhasha Divas that now includes Tamil, Gujarati, Sanskrit, besides Hindi. On the art side, well, these are the Hindi students performing at the Hindu Center. Here are some more students. On the art side, Bharatanatyam teacher Gayatri and our students featured in the Arts and Entertainment section of the Times in 2003. We had a talent night. Our obsession with fashion shows continued. With Sanj or Savera this time at the Adria Banquet Hall. You can see we had a Vedic Hindu wedding ceremony. Just coming up with, here they are. Parvati, do you recognize your little son over there? Guess what, guys? Can you recognize our divas? A lot of them are here today. We also released our stunning Madhubala book, which you can find outside, and a CD marking the millennium 2000. We also came online in 2000 with our No Frills website. We expanded our program to include classes for adults now, with the Gita class in 1999, and soon after, yoga classes in 2001. With all this mental and physical activity, everyone felt, what is Indian culture and heritage without some desi food? And Jyoti's Corner took root in 2001. With all this going on the front lines, one has to take a peek at the back office operations. Our admin staff although swimming in sacks of papers and folders was keeping it all together. However, it was now time to modernize and move to better quarters. And here comes our next yoga.
Little bit off script. As you can imagine, we were very emotional the last 2 months of looking at all these photos. We saw all your children grow up in the matter of the last 2 weeks, going photo by photo. Do you all recognize something somewhere on here? Yeah? Yes? The Anke Yuga. This is when we committed to our digital footprint. We spruced up our website, opened our resource center, and moved to the middle school in this yuga. In 2004, the New York Times came to interview us. What a day that was. See those uniforms, Bharatanatyam uniforms? That was a nightmare, by the way. We launched our first Mangala concert with a prestigious NISCA grant. And that concert ran for 7 years, 7 glorious years. We called it Mangala, the Arts of India. Here we are in the landmark theatre. The crew behind putting it together. Surprisingly smart looking actually. And here's the Gitanjali group that performed. It was a special time. And our featured artists, Mala Desai, Pandit Chatterjee, and Malini Srinivasan. Yicg was featured prominently in Channel 21's Asian Americans in India. This was widely acclaimed all over the USA. It's part of a bigger series. And it's on online archives for future generations. Play this?
I started teaching beautiful epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata. All these characters come alive from a very young age, at 4 years old. Dashavatar, we talk about different forms of the Lord, and it's all fun and games when they're young. But when they get older, into high school, all roads point to the Upanishads. They point to the Bhagavad Gita. And it's not about religion, it's about universal questions that we all have. In these classes, we talk about dharma, which is the moral order of this universe. We talk about karma, which is the law of karma. Whatever you do, there is an effect to it. We talk about the sorrow, dukkha, human sorrow, human joy, sukha. We talk about this journey of life and death, and it's only a journey. We talk about, quote unquote, I call them tools, because yoga, meditation are really tools to discipline your mind. Otherwise, it's like a chariot with the horses running without the charioteer, you see. And these tools, the beauty of it in the Vedic culture, these were tools meant to tame the mind. And once the mind is tamed, you can point, once the reins are held properly and the horse is trained, you can go where you want to go.
Let us be an example that we have answered.
Well, moving right along, Lata finally revamped our website, launching this is what it looks like. Many, many skeletons are behind that screen. We were 10 years old already. We had arrived. We had a grand celebration of our 10-year anniversary in 2004. We are very good at gala planning. Vasundhara is the reigning queen on that topic. See us, we're singing, dancing, praying, eating, and posing for photographs. We have to budget a lot more time next time for this. And some more eating. Gautam, is that you?
2004, we thank our benefactors who have been with us for so long and make sure, that our financial building is in place. Thank you. It was a very large graduating class, and we celebrated in our typical Desi Hawaiian fashion. It was unique. Enrollment was strong with lots of activities. All the Vedic, Hindi, Diwali Fest. And we established ourselves in a proper school environment in our beloved Eric's Middle School, which is our home away from home. We inaugurated the Yicg Resource Center and Library at the Herrick's Community Center in 2006, giving us the much needed permanent space to have an office and run our operation. And again, we celebrated, and some more celebration, in our resource center. And then we pretended to work. It was a resource center after all. And Pujya Swamiji came to bless our center. That was a special time. He called it Vani Vihar, and he wrote us a special message which we discovered recently, which is in a framed picture on the side table. Please take your time to look at it. The message there is from chapter 4 of the Gita, verse 38. Na hinyanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddha kale natmani vidyate. In this world there is indeed no purifier equivalent to knowledge. One who has in time attained preparedness through karma yoga naturally gains knowledge in the mind. We all thank him for inspiring us to persevere one day at a time. Vasundhara and Bridgen, this is Swamiji writing that message. I managed to get a photo of that. Vasundhara and Bridgen inaugurated and dedicated the Dr. Santosh Surekha Library. It was an emotional period for us. Santosh was a friend and a supporter, and his untimely loss was and continues to be deeply felt. This inaugural plaque, which hangs in our resource center, will always remind us of his love. Not only did we expand our office space, Vasundhara joined our board in 2005. In the middle of this whirlwind of activity, YSCG's reach extended near and far, from the JCC next door for interfaith activities, all the way to the government of Indonesia for a Bali festival, for a Ramayana festival in Bali. Anjali and Rati took our talented kids on the road to participate in that festival. These are iconic photos. For those of you who are here who attended that, will remember the drama and the trauma. And then we all dressed up in the Balinese outfit. And we will never do something like that again. We were young and crazy. And then we got a citation from Congressman Israel, a visit from the Consul General, and we're even interviewed on ITV by Ashok Ji, who's right here. Thank you, Ashok Ji. By now, YSCG was running like a well-oiled machine with our program leaders, Raji, directing our Vedic curriculum, Vasundhara and Anjali co-directing Hindi, Natarajan Mama running Tamil and Shloka program, Sunil Modi teaching yoga, Vinita Shetty arts and crafts, Sejal on tabla, Mala with Odissi, Lalita Mami with Carnatic, Pandit Chardaji with Kathak, and Malini with Bharatanatyam. We were going from strength to strength on all of our pillars, and we now entered a stable phase called the Stereo Yoga.
with activities and classes for everyone in the family, a dedicated staff running the academic program, and an efficient administrative staff, YICG entered the state of July. Here, you see, we were treated to a delightful lunch at Rudy's place. Many of you might remember this as the Blue party. We were now a teenager, 15 years in the making. Time for celebration again. We had a gala event which was held at Akkora. Everyone participated, including the children from YICG. ActiveNet is expanding our reach online. We also expanded geographically. Our community expanded with more parents discovering us from Syosset to Stony Brook on the east, from Manhattan and Brooklyn to the west, New Jersey to the south, and Westchester to the north. We started new programs. Meena started children involved in leadership and service activities. That led to the reincarnation of Jyoti's Corner. Shanti started our book club in February 2013, and it continues to run till today, fit the context and the themes of the book. Bollywood classes became a big part of our program, with our kids and youth dancing away. On any given Saturday, the hallway was bustling with activity, managed ably by Pooja, with lots of young parents, first and second generation, connecting and enjoying with each other. Everyone participated. In this picture, you see Anjilo exhausted after sharing their secret recipes. We introduced a motley crew of karaoke singers to entertain us. Friends, this was the start of a Must Music Club, now led by Nishan Devdi. This has become a dynamic part of our activity today. This also led us to the Diwali Fest tradition, the first one starting in 2012. In this picture, you see some of our benefactors. Things were running very smoothly, and as if this was not enough, some of us wanted more. So we started Brain Power. Rati and Anjali started this, a program in which students would practice public speaking and playing math games. Vasundhara added a new dimension to our Hindi program in the form of conversational Hindi. The tradition of connecting YICG's families socially was started by Jyoti in the form of summer picnics. This continues today under the leadership of Raji and Shiva. Raji, our sportsman, had brilliant idea. An idea for adults into a badminton program. This is a much sought after activity at YICG. Ravi, with a green thumb, started It's been going on for 10 years now. We are ready for the green new deal which should come through. Vijaya started a speaker series during which brief talks on select topics were given by people with expertise on the subject, a homegrown version of the TED Talks. Ananta and Meena started mentoring series. We also had some unique one-off activities like the improv club and the famous Bhishma trial. Bhishma from Mahabharata was put on trial in a modern court. There was a prosecuting team and another defense team with very spirited arguments. We closed off this yoga with a grand faculty and staff luncheon, celebrating again after 20 years of our existence. Now we are in the Mast Yuga.
So, here we are in the Masti Yoga. So much creativity, so much fun. Little did anyone realize that they had ushered in the Masti Yoga. Masti with sports and games and music and dance. Even though Swami Vivekananda doesn't exactly approve of music and dance. But he does approve of this. One of the highlights of this yoga is games for seva. We wanted to teach our children team skills and entrepreneurship while being firmly grounded in our culture and heritage and importantly in our mission of seva. Rati and Madhu started this effort in 2015 with hands-on workshops and design retreats where our kids brainstorm and and learning experiences. If you haven't already seen them, the table here has a number of examples of some of them, and they really do try to encapsulate both dharma and values from the Mahabharata, the Gita, and the Ramayana in experiences that can be taught, and their relevance in everyday life is brought forth as well. And by YICG students. As you can see, these games can be enjoyed by all ages. As I said before, our flagship product is Wisdom Without Borders, which is a teacher's toolkit where these values can be shared and learned in a variety of different contexts. And again, I encourage all of you to please take a look at the table over here and see some of those games. And many of the cards from those games are on your table. Adults came into this, into their own in this Masti period, and the adults developed Must music. The chorus group, Bollywood dance, and mirroring some of the children's programs, the adults also had multiple events celebrating everyone's dance and music talent, such as Love is in the Air, and the holiday show in December, and Step to the Beat in the spring. Kids continued many of their extravaganzas, their annual arts extravaganza, which is Kalanjali, and as you can see, they demonstrate many of these wonderful skills in art, music, and dance that they have learned in their classes over the year. We also continued many of our annual events and traditions like Vedic Day, Bhasha Divas, Tamil Day, Gita Vichara, and our visits to the Gurukulam continue. In this yoga, we must visit our admin team again. They wanted to have some Masti too. They finally moved our back office paperwork online onto, yay, ProClass in 2014. You could get rid of those mounds of paper. We also signed a 5-year lease for the middle school for the first time. We now launched the Parijay initiative to reach our young families, Sangita took care of weekly schedules in the front desk, while Sujini expanded our cuisine offerings in the Banyan Food Corner aid and raising funds for various disasters such as the Gujarat earthquake, Chennai floods, and Bhutanese refugee crises, to name a few. And into all lives, some rain must fall. With Natarajan Mama's passing, we lost someone very significant. He was an inspiration to all of us. He demonstrated not only Vedic values by living in them, they are embodied in the many programs that he started that are still thriving, although he has passed. Tamil, Sanskrit, adult shlokas, and even a monthly chanting group. We are grateful to Jayanti. Where are you, Jayanti? We are grateful to Jayanti for continuing to lead this chanting class after Mama's passing. And Isabella, the chanting and Ninaram Sanskrit. I can't emphasize enough what an incredible sense of accomplishment we all feel at YICG when we see our very own alumni, kids who took classes with us, coming back to teach the next generation of students at YICG. It feels as though we are creating our very own parampara. Pranav with teaching shlokas and mentoring at Games for Seva, Anisha teaching Bollywood, and Henna Kathak. With our board, we look forward to serving you all in the future and have great hopes to continue to serve the younger generation as we have in the past 25 years. And we have great hopes for the future. But I wonder what it's going to be.
Not to worry. With all your sponsorship, we are going to be accelerating towards the Aravar Yuga. You must wonder, what is Aravar? Well, Aravar stands for AR and VR, as in augmented reality and virtual reality. So we hope to continue to emphasize all of our core pillars, but with a twist. We'll have our kids experience all this immersively. Their realities will be augmented with Vedic studies and Indian history, and they'll experience all of their art and culture beautifully with virtual reality and augmented reality. With that tantalizing thought in your minds, I will let you enjoy the rest of the program and hand it to Anjali next. Thank you very much.
I cannot let Chitra go. Nishan, come on up here. Is he here? These are the people who put this whole presentation together. For hours. It was a Herculean effort. Thousands and thousands of pictures that we saw it through and stitched together. Thank you so much, Patty.
I do remember that Bali trip well. What an exciting, adventurous undertaking that was by 5 mothers and their daughters halfway across the world. It was the decade of Karan Johar's very popular Bollywood movies such as Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, and the name of the female lead in those movies became oh so popular. Any guesses? On this trip, we had not one, but 4 Anjalis. Anjali Raja, Rati's daughter, Anjali Bhatt, Urmila's daughter, Anjali Kunal, Jaya's daughter, and myself, Anjali Sajnani. The Balinese people were so taken with us, and everywhere we went, we felt like celebrities. They always asked us how Rahul, SRK, the main lead in those movies, was doing. Participating in the Ramayana festival in Bali will always remain on the top of my list of all the many wonderful things I have done here at YICG over the last 2 decades and more. Good afternoon, friends and well-wishers. Today it is my great honor and privilege to welcome the Consul General for Community Affairs in New York, Mr. Nair. Mr. Nair, Mr. Nair has generously given up his time to encourage and promote cultural and community activities while here in New York, and we thank him for joining us in this, our milestone celebration. Sir, we would request you to please come up and say a few words.
I was requested by the Consul General. I am not. By the way, I want to correct it. I am the Consul Community Affairs, not the Consul General. Consul General is not here in US now. He is not in station. He is gone to India for some matter, for his personal matter. And the acting Consul General has sent a message to you. I would like to read it to you. Do you mind if I read it out? Okay. The message is, the acting Consul General is Mr. Shatrugna Sinha, acting Consul General of India, New York. His message is, I am pleased to know that the Young Indian Culture Group, YICG, is celebrating its 25th anniversary on June 9, 2019 in Great Neck, New York. It is a moment of pride and honor for Young Indian Cultural Group, YICG, an organization dedicated to preserving Indian culture and heritage. YICG has grown considerably over the last 25 years. The efforts of YICG to bridge the gap between communities and promoting connections across cultures and countries are much appreciated. Especially noteworthy is YICG's endeavors to promote Indian arts, languages, and culture. I convey my greetings to all the members of Young Indian Culture Group, YICG, for a successful celebration and continuation of the rich legacy it has been pursuing. That's the message.
To please come up for a photo op.
Why is it that a group of perfectly sane, reasonable, rational, analytical people, why is that group, which is basically all of us, doing something as insane as running this enormously complex effort of executing a school calendar? 60 classes, 24 events, 35 faculty, 18 admin, and at least 25 volunteers. When I actually counted, it could be 100. Working like networked gears, handling 300 children, 200 adults, all on one day. Why? I asked you that question. And this along with an underbelly of leases for 2 locations, liability insurance, charity filings, accounting, and so on and on. And right now we have to defumigate the office. That's another project. Insane, and why? If this board that you sort of saw in action today went back 25 years, back to the future, and had foreseen this, I assure you it would not have happened. We would have chickened out completely. So, my answer to the big why, that I thought about it, is that along the way, we have discovered, and that was we slowly discovered, that doing something together, something meaningful, and working hard is hugely important to us. The desire to work together is so strong that we are inspired to overcome the difficulties that have come with it. And there have been many, and there will be more. So it is that what we are celebrating today, that overcoming process over the last 25 years. Otherwise, time just goes. But we really have overcome many things because our desire to work together, to do something meaningful, is very strong. I just want you to hold that thought. And how did that work? You can have the why, but how? The how is with a commitment to some really, really small things. So if you do really, really small things repeatedly over a long time, 25 years, a tapestry does emerge. You don't have to try very hard. It emerges. It's in the nature of things. So I can just tell you that we're all part of this evolution. It is in the law, in the nature of things. Registration, curriculum development, faculty relations, Herrick School District, room allocations, benefactors, so on and so on. The list is very long. But everything in small, iterative steps. We have worked and we have focused only on the next small step. We have a great metaphor to remind us of this principle. Gandhiji's charka that I discovered in my room last week. Some of you may recognize it from 20 years ago. It is right here on the right side. And what is that metaphor? It combines the dignity of labor with the patience and perseverance of the next step. And then we wait as the wheel spins. Do take a turn at that wheel in the simple act of perseverance. We are truly a community of givers. All of us in this room, we all go back 25 years, maybe more. And we want to serve in real, tangible ways where we live and in our neighborhoods. YICG is our chance to experience that spirit of seva with our body, with our mind, with our spirit. So what is a seva community? It is a series of small choices and everyday actions. How to spend a Saturday, right? What to do when a neighbor falls ill. Sharing wisdom on the minutiae of life. And recently it's been a lot about grandparents. You know, some of my friends have become grandparents. Minutiae, little wisdom. And it's about investing in somewhere versus being everywhere. All this happens in our hallways and in our classrooms. It percolates to the rest of the week in a web of connections. Our community is our very own insurance policy against the vagaries of life. In Brené Brown's words, connection is the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. So YICG is just that. We're truly striving to be more human in an apocalyptic digital world. That's what we're doing. Once upon a time, we stated a mission. Our old mission, preserving Indian culture and heritage. Maybe our new mission could be creating platforms of seva for a complete life of meaning and happiness. That totally changes our perspective on things. So what lies ahead for YICG? Let's slow down and step into seva. I personally believe very strongly in the power of service tied to the power of creativity. Let's create a total vision of giving back. If you feel, everyone here, if you feel in your life that there is something in your capacities to give and it needs to be given, just join us. We'll make work for you. Don't worry. It'll benefit all of us. We're waiting. We can build together. The next Yuga, Chitra, begins today. So thank you all of you, for giving me the chance to serve. Thank you.
And you have done all this without ever losing your temper or letting any of that anger or rudeness change you. Indeed, you have been the wind beneath our wings. Unfortunately, all of this speech wouldn't have fit on the plaque, so I had to say it. But I will read the plaque to you. It says, Sreshta Rati Raja, first of her name. Thank you for your vision, creativity, compassion, and most of all, for 25 years of resolute leadership from the Young Indian Culture League. Congratulations.
Now you should stand.
As he has been doing for the last, I don't know how long you've been married already, but we need to have you on stage because Rati would not, I think, be possible